Hey guys, the right-wing youth today seems to be on a Venn diagram between using looks-maxing protocols as a means for self-improvement and then also using Goatis as their spiritual and philosophical teacher, which is very interesting. It's almost as if the youth today, many of them realize that looks-maxing is essentially just trying so hard to fit in. And eventually you gotta get sick of that, because you're living your life trying to make other people like you. And that is just fucking lame. That's being a spiritual cuckold. And then you're in that vulnerable position and you realize, fuck, I'm living my life for other people. That's lame as fuck. And then you're scrolling on TikTok and Goatis' words hit you.
Most human lives revolve around what other humans think about them. It's a very unnatural state of being for an animal. Of course, we naturally don't do anything to upset our family and friends because we care about their well-being and also because we want to belong. But at this point, we care so much about how anybody around us sees us that it has become a mental illness. We have to do whatever we have to do regardless of what people think about us. Eat what you want to eat, listen to whatever music you want to listen to, wear whatever clothes you want to wear, and do it all out in the open. If your fake friends don't approve, then fuck them. Popular opinion is formed by the media, and the media wants you dead, essentially. Therefore, your actions have to appeal to the majority to be accepted by our society, which is suicide. Nowadays, being natural equals being antisocial, but that's the only way to be happy. In other words, it's impossible to fit in and be happy at the same time. Not being true to your own feelings and doing what you want to do is exactly what leads to depression, because you literally have to depress your true self. This is everyday life if you want to be part of society, because society's values have been programmed. They don't come naturally.
And even though I don't completely agree with his statements there, they are wise. He's definitely sees above what most people don't see. And, that could be very seductive to a young mind. And then he's got other things, Goatis is surrounded by controversy. His wife and kid left him, and the conspiracy goes that he hired a hitman to commit an acid attack on her, and the acid attack was successful. His ex-wife's face is now deformed, and now she carries that trauma when she raises his own child. But he's got a lot more takes, What we're going to be looking at today, we're going to be looking at why human beings created morals. There's a video, why morals are fake. We're going to be taking a look at the importance of morals. Why did we create them? Why? And does it have anything to do with why his kid left him? Does his mindset, how has his mindset impacted his own life? So let's have a look at this clip.
One of the most important lessons in life is not to treat others the way you want to be treated. Satanic religions such as Christianity and Buddhism teach the opposite. It completely goes against nature. The only way to be happy is to make others unhappy. Realize that you've been living your whole life religiously, following morals, ethics, which were created by religions. Life is all about consuming others' energy for your own good, because that literally is the only way to be happy. Killing and
these things, they're kind of insane. And to me, it starts to paint a picture of why he is antisocial, why his family left him. Okay, it paints a picture. Next clip.
I could be friends with a serial killer and a Christian at the same time because I'm totally different anyway. I'm quite careless when it comes to such superficial things, whereas those two people could probably not be friends with each other. And whatever happened to me in 2011 and 12, this spiritual thing which I experienced, which sort of woke me up, so to speak, which connected me to my soul, and not judging things such as murder and such, and actually appreciating the beauty of it, who are called psychopaths nowadays. Actually, the way I see them, they're actually more sane than, not always, but they're just people who have gone back to their nature many times and got sick of society. And I'm very antisocial myself because I'm against this fucking society. I just want to burn it down, and I'm proud of that.
So yeah, it's so interesting because the things that he's saying and the view that he has is actually akin to a spiritual awakening. To be able to view life and even murder, which is what he said in the clip, he said you can view murder as beautiful. That actually, it is akin to a non-dual perspective, non-duality. It's the highest form of spirituality. And that means you view life and everything in life above human perception. Okay? Above human perception. And we're going to come back to perception because this is very important. On that very same note, he says, society, he looks down upon society and society is disgusting. Why is there such a duality in being able to see the beauty of nature and the beauty of life within murder and killing, but not seeing the beauty in life within society, you know, where kids grow up, you know, where there's so much life, where there is genuinely so much to appreciate. Very interesting. And this final video, and this final clip, which we will take a look at.
Nobody has ever forgiven anybody, and that's because it's not even humanly possible to forgive, seeing as it is a completely man-made belief. I get that many of you out there are in denial and believe that you did forgive people in your life, but that's because you're fucking weak and it's easier to lie to yourself. Forgiveness in general is for weak people. The truth is that the only way to get over what somebody did to you is to get revenge. That's it. There is literally no other way.
The only way to get over something which hurts you is to get revenge. But why can't he see the beauty, you know, just the beauty of life in there? The only way to get over when somebody has hurt you is to get revenge. Here's the thing, and here is the truth. Being hurt, your feelings, they're subjective. They're based on your perception. The guy that killed Charlie Kirk, you know, like that tranny guy or something, I don't know the full story. He has his feelings hurt by what Charlie Kirk was saying. Thus, because of his own subjective experiences and because of his unique perception based on what Charlie was saying, he found he became self-righteous enough to kill him. Insane. We see this everywhere. You know, this kind of thinking is akin to tribalism, tribalistic warfare. You hurt me, so now I must hurt you. Which, by the way, you know, the more spiritually developed you are, the more emotionally mature you are, the easier you are. It's easier for you to sit with your emotions and sit with the hurt. And immature people, low consciousness people, they're more likely to find themselves in gangs, justify retaliation. This is literally why there's so much gang violence in America, because they're like still on the fucking human consciousness of tribalism where they need to get revenge, and it continues that cycle. And this makes very many places across the whole world very ugly and very bad to live in. Let's say this. When I was 13 years old, my mother turned off my Xbox when I was playing Skyrim, and I lost 2 hours of fucking gameplay or something. You know, true story. That hurt me. That made me feel great resentment. But my pain is based off my perception. If I now have a different perception of those events and say, oh, I'll just be a fucking nerd, maybe I should just be outside, that can instantly switch to me being grateful for that experience. But in that subjective experience, I was hurt, I was resentful. So now, what should I do? Should I destroy my relationship with my mother, which can give me so much love and so much joy, which is a constructive, a functional relationship? Or should I just fucking slime her out because I felt bad? What human beings want, what is the most valuable thing for us? If you're not a psychopath, if you're not like him, then we want love. You know that we want love. We want joy. We want those beautiful relationships with people. And we destroy those when we are petty and when we need revenge, when we need to retaliate and hurt other people. This is why human beings created morals. Okay? He said that morals come from religion. They're man-made. They're man-made. Why else should we follow them? We miss out on the beauty of life. Morals help us cultivate the beauty of life. We have morals so that we could cultivate trust within relationships, within family. Within family. Are we starting to connect the dots to see why they left? And this is like, it's not a very nice thing. Why do you think they left? Why do you think they left? Goatis does not respect, the code, the natural code of conduct that human beings develop within a tribe to protect each other. He says, fuck that. That's man-made. I ain't following that shit. I'm the fucking best. I'm the GOAT. I ain't following man-made protocols. That destroys trust. How could I ever trust? How could anybody ever trust him? He doesn't respect. He doesn't respect. Respect is a man-made concept, isn't it? So they leave, bro. I saw like a little post he made. He's like, Santa Cruz medicinals will never want to debate me because he's scared to be humiliated. Is he scared to debate him because of his intellectual prowess? Or is there something else going on? Or is there something else? The thing is, Goatis still relies on human society, on modern day society. There was, I think there's a clip somebody told me. He's saying, fuck Phoenix. Fuck Phoenix. He's saying fuck Phoenix because he's trying to stay at a fan's house and nobody wants to let him stay, and he gets salty. Why don't they want to let him stay? Why don't they want to let him stay? You know what's funny? Within the very first 5 minutes of actually watching his videos, and by the way, I first had a positive impression. I was expecting to like him. And I watched his YouTube videos. Within the very first 5 seconds, my intuition is essentially ringing its alarm bells and saying there is something wrong. What's wrong? It's the psychopathy. It's the lack of love. The thing is, his whole entire philosophy is devoid of love. It's devoid of compassion. It may be intellectually true. It may be wise. It might be. But it's all devoid of love. And that's the missing thing. That's like the missing element in his life. It's love. It's compassion. And if you're not fucked up in the head, if you're not traumatized, and he probably is, stabbing 4 classmates when you're 15, when you're that young. You want love. You want joy. That's what you want. And, people, they say, return to nature, Guys, that way of living, being a hunter-gatherer, doesn't exist anymore. Your only choice is to adapt. And the only people who take on this philosophy are the ones that feel like society has failed them. So they project their happiness onto, when they can move into a cabin in the woods, or when they're in nature. You're going to end up going back home to your parents and to being in society. The very vast majority of these people, that say never stress, just be in nature. You're going to have to adapt anyway. And really what that whole thing is, it's essentially a band-aid solution to living in a spiritually cucked society. Like, yes, the way society is right now, it doesn't help us. But that doesn't mean fucking burning it down and trying to hurt others, because it will just come back on you. That's tribal warfare. You're going to hurt somebody else, they'll hurt you. Be better than that. Be higher than that. Yeah, guys, I think I've covered it. I think this makes sense, guys. And you need to be able to separate the wisdom from the madness. And I'm sure there is plenty of adolescents out there that need to hear the message, that need to be able to cultivate their individuality and not be a sheep. And because essentially, looks maxing is essentially just a survival mechanism. Like you're literally listening to societal standards and you don't feel fucking good enough. That's like one of the trends. That's one of the reasons why Goatis blew up, was because of black pill. Like Venn diagram. But yeah, guys, I think that covers it. What we want is love. That is what we want, bro. But if you listen, if you want to follow Goatis and do what he does, most likely you're going to end up isolated and antisocial. And you can cope and say, I don't want to be in this society. You don't have a choice, G. You don't exactly have a choice. More love, more compassion. 100%. Okay. Namaste.